15 cars and 15 restless riders, 3 conductors and 25 sacks of mail.
This is Wandering North America. My name is Jeff, and I'm glad you're here. They say everybody has a story. Our guest today probably has a large number. Jimmy Jack has been a singer, a songwriter, guitar player, a producer, and has started his own charity foundation. Thanks for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Jimmy Jack, what was your childhood like?
Oh, my dad left when I was 6. I saw him about 4 times before he died. My mom had to work 2 jobs to make sure that I wanted to play violin at the 3rd grade, and she made sure I had a violin. And
So violin was the first thing you played?
yeah, I was classical violin clear through college. I was on several albums. I was at All-State 2 years, played the OU Symphony at 15, wrote a symphony when I was 15. I was considered a prodigy in music, classical.
And growing up, what were some of the places you lived?
We were mostly Fort Worth, Dallas. Fort Worth was my favorite place as a kid growing up because I was from the 3rd grade through the 7th grade, and I went back and found a lot of my old friends from there in Fort Worth, Texas. And I was born in Vernon, Texas, but I wasn't there 6 weeks. But Fort Worth is, in Dallas I was there for a year. Then due to the circumstances beyond my control, we ended up, and it ended up being good for me to get away from Dallas. But my mom remarried and I started 9th grade in Snyder, Oklahoma, 15 miles out in the country on a ranch. Never got over it.
That's a big difference between Fort Worth and 15 miles
Dallas,
out of
we
town.
came from across the street from junior high school, 1,000 in my class to 34 in my class in Oklahoma.
You're known for your guitar. When did you get your first one?
I was 12. I wanted one. My mom got me one. Just old guitar, couldn't hardly play, but then in Oklahoma we started a little band, and it just, I tell the joke, the Beatles is why I wanted to play guitar. I was 13 when they came over in '64, and I tell everybody my hair got longer, my music got louder, and my mama got madder, but I just kept on rocking.
And what was your first performance outside of your family?
In music, outside of my family.
Outside of your family?
I did violin solos clear back when I was in the 4th, 5th grade. I was fearless on stage. That's what I look for in kids, that fearlessness. Because a kid who's shy on stage is really got problems, usually standing up. But I was fearless, and the kids we look for are kids that, we get some shy ones, but mostly they get on stage, they're just in control. Even if they're not real good, they'll end up being good if they keep it pushing, a lot of them.
Uh-huh. What was your first paid performance?
First paid performance was probably a prom when I was about like 14. And we were hard rock. And we were, probably a prom made, I think, $25. I played bass guitar.
And when did you decide to go professional?
I don't think I really decided to go professional. It just, circumstances drew that. In 1978, I had the National Farm song that I'd written. I got to play for Jimmy Carter and the Congress with George Jones Band, Ernie Ryle and those guys. And I got to work with Hank Jr.'s band, Merle Kilgore and those guys. And I thought, and I was making $500 for one song because I had the song. And Ernie come over, I think it was Ernie, it was one of them, come over and says, "Man, you got it made. We're out here playing for an hour or 30 minutes. You come out and do one song, you're making more than I am." And I said, that's what a star is. You know, and I was cutting up, I really wasn't a star. But it was pretty cool. And I was not a Jimmy Carter fan, but it didn't matter. You know, it's respect that people don't have nowadays. You know, we had respect for, even if you didn't agree with the president.
Well, of all the things you do, between the singing, the songwriting, the guitar playing, the producing, the charity, What do you enjoy the most?
The charity, hands down the charity. I'd trade every song I ever recorded, wrote, sang with, any band I've ever been in, I would trade it all to watch that kid walk across the stage and you give them something that they cannot get. There's no way some of them can afford it. And we've got 4 kids on scholarship, so that's more important than anything. Everything I've ever done musically, pyramids right into this. And that's why I believe the Lord allowed it to happen, was because it's about the kids with me, period, 100%.
Well, we'll put a link to that charity down below. Of all the songs you wrote, which is your favorite?
Oh my goodness. That's where Jesus would go.
Give us a few chords. I can probably find that online.
Yeah, they can find that online. It'd be easier. Right now, a bluegrass group cut it, and it's number 12 on the charts in the country gospel bluegrass.
Really? Right now?
Yeah, right now. I think it's 12 or 14. Yeah, Sunshine Road.
Now, who have you played with on stage?
On stage, I fiddled with Charlie Daniels. I've played with, oh my goodness, Willie. There's so many. It's in my book. You can see some of them. Roy Clark, I was with him in Dallas. I played with him. Different ones.
What's the largest audience you played to?
40,000 probably.
Holy cow! That sounds like stadium.
Oh, it's a football field. I played at NASCAR 4 times. The hardest thing out of all the playing I ever did was singing the national anthem at NASCAR. I've done it twice. That's the hardest, because I didn't have my guitar. All I could do was a cappella, and it was, man, I thought, Lord, don't let me forget the words of this. I sing it. I mean, I'm sitting there nervous. That's the only time I've been nervous playing, is doing a cappella at NASCAR. That was hard. Oh.
Right.
You got all these people up in the stands, and you're going, oh, I can't blow this in front of everyone.
Now, have you played outside the country?
Played in Haiti. I had the offer, but I'd rather stay in the States. We played, it's kind of outside the country. We had #1 song in Alaska, our band did, out of Hollywood. And we toured Alaska for 9 weeks. And that was cool.
That's beautiful country.
One of the highlights of my life, playing music, was playing in Alaska for 9 weeks. Gave us a car and a house, and there were 5 guys in our band, and man, I made a lot of friends up there.
Nice. Tell us about your work as a producer.
Producer, I've been blessed. I've had, I don't count them because I don't really keep numbers. I didn't, because Gary Paxton, who is my mentor, and he did Monster Mash, Alley, all those, I was with him for 40 years, and he had 31 legit #1 songs that he wrote and produced. So he taught me how to produce. And I don't like producing for the simple reason I dive 100% into it. And it takes away from the foundation a little bit. It takes away from me playing out. But what I do enjoy I don't just produce anyone. And it's not only do I want them to be fairly good, I want to get them, I don't use anybody but the best. And it's just like Sunshine Road. I've produced them their last 3 albums, and we've had tons of success. They're winning awards everywhere they go, and but I used Jake Workman, who's a good friend of mine. He's Ricky Skaggs, a guitar player. That's an example of the kind of guys I use. He just won Bluegrass Picker of the Year out of everybody. I mean, we're the best in the world. He's rated #1 in the world right now. And he's one of my buddies, but I told Sunshine Road, I said, the reason you pay these guys a little more, or you don't pay them, they do it for me for scale, but some of them get double and triple scale. But Jake, when he won it, I said, put it out there. He's your guitar player all over the place. I mean, put it out there. So it just makes him bigger. And I said, that's why I don't want to go in there, except whenever I go in the studio, I put something out for radio. If I'm producing, it costs more, but in the long run, if they're really good, it'll pay dividends. Mm-hmm. And it already is with them. Jake is a great example. That just happened a month ago or so.